One game, I think, probably for that.
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, we just haven't had the work. You know, you go through OTAs and it's just helmets. So, and he hasn't had a chance to really, you know, the thing he's missing right now is the continuity with a bunch of guys that are new to him. You know, everybody's new. So we're going to have to fight through that. I mean, before you know it, we're going to be lining up against Denver. So hopefully we can get him back quicker than we thought.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
Boss, you know we finally here, right?
Well,
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday. It's Friday again, it's Saturday, Sunday.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's a freaky Friday, August 7th, 2026. Stephen St. John in studio. Jake Gutierrez at the board. No Deebs. Suspended one game without pay. Ladies and gentlemen, how about future NFL MVP Haynes King? Update your fantasy football draft board. Nabble Haynes King dual threat in the later rounds. Well, that was as entertaining as a meaningless preseason game could be about two teams that you don't care about, right? Probably maxed out there on entertainment value. Because let me tell you, there are teams, we've talked about this, there's certain teams in sports that, for whatever reason, and everyone's different, like certain teams I want to watch. I'm not saying I like them or I don't like them. Usually it's because I feel strongly one way or the other and I want to root. Like I like to watch Denver so I can root against them. That gets my blood, boiling. All right, let's go. It makes me feel something. Right? I like to watch Buffalo. Because normally it's a really entertaining game, and what? I'm rooting for Buffalo to lose, I love watching the Chiefs, obviously. But like Arizona never moves the needle. Do not care. Maybe years ago, maybe the last time I cared was when they had Larry Fitzgerald and Kurt Warner, as Fitzgerald is inducted into the Hall of Fame. But just, it just does not mean anything. And Carolina's kind of the same way. It's like, all right, it's football. And so not only do you have it's an exhibition game, it's about two teams that I do not care what they did in the offseason. I know what they did, but I don't ever think about it, and I don't want to think about it. I don't like it because I don't care. I do not care. Carolina, I'm more interested in than Arizona. Arizona's just like, especially like right now, are you compelled to watch that team? With
No.
Jacoby Brissett as their starting quarterback? And
they're going to be a candidate for the worst team in the league.
yeah. Like, the one reason why I watch them,
Jeremiah Love.
there you go. Okay. So that's, now when I'm flipping channels or there's a game, maybe there's not a great slate of 3 o'clock games. So let me watch Jeremiah Love, see what he can do. But man, last night, for two teams that don't move the needle in the first exhibition game, that was quite entertaining.
Absolutely. I think they had 6 straight possessions going into halftime with scoring drives.
That was a pleasant display of football.
It was. See, yeah. Panthers -1.5. Give me that.
When was who got lit up? Was it in the second quarter on that long pass?
Oh, yeah.
Arizona. Ah, see, look at me. Right? With that hit, I was like, whoa, hold
Yeah,
on here.
Preseason.
What are we doing here?
They're hitting.
All right. Let's go. But I'm sure lots of people were like us. They just wanted to see some football. And you got something out of it. You got something reasonably entertaining. This Haynes King, buddy. 21 to 34, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 carries for 39 yards and a touchdown, including the game winner. The walk-off touchdown, giving Carolina a 33-30 victory over Arizona. He had quite a journey in college. A&M, and then Georgia Tech. A couple of fine programs. He was a backup to Kellen Mond his first year at A&M. And then broke his leg on a scramble in 2021. Then into the transfer portal and ended up going to Georgia Tech, where he did actually put up some nice numbers. You know what he did his last year at Georgia Tech, 2025? He threw for 2,951 yards. Of course, this is how sick I am. I'm last night looking up his stats. Well, hold on.
Why
now.
not?
Wait a minute
Why
here.
wouldn't you?
Boy, this guy can run. He threw for 2,951 yards, 14 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 69.8% completion percentage. But then on the ground, he got him for 953 yards and 15 touchdowns, baby. That's a dual threat. So he was just shy of passing for 3,000 and running for 1,000. Like, all right, buddy. But Georgia Tech, a very unique offense. But I'll have it. 6'2", 212, good size. Went undrafted. I don't know, Jake. Put that in your back pocket and
Dynasty.
later on. You don't think there's a chance that there'll be an injury or two and all of a sudden, maybe on a Sunday, preseason hero Haynes King gets to start today? And we're like, hold on, wait a minute.
Hey, we've seen it.
If you get an extra little bonus for quarterback rushing yards, maybe that might be a smart pickup.
We've seen guys show out in the preseason and put themselves on other rosters and start in this league.
So there we go. Just because of last night, Haynes King has been put on my radar now.
Yeah.
Now, if anything pops up, or if there's an injury and he's the backup, remember Haynes King? Like, oh yeah, I remember him. You're running his ass off on Thursday Night Football Hall of Fame game. Yeah. Carson Beck was 15-19 for $188 with a touchdown.
He looked impressive.
Are you on the Carson Beck bandwagon of he will be a good NFL quarterback or he will be a disaster?
I wasn't going. I mean, he looked good last night.
I demand an answer from you immediately.
I think by the end of the year he'll be starting for Cardinals.
Do you think he's going to be a good NFL quarterback?
Good.
Yeah, good. You think he'd be good enough to when he starts, he's the starting quarterback for a couple of years?
Yeah, I think he has that potential. I think he could do that.
Because that's good. If
right.
It's what he'll get the chance. Trust me.
Yeah. Jacoby
Brissett's in front of him.
Right.
He'll get the chance. Just to justify the draft pick, he'll get a start. But I think
I think he could be better than both Minshew and Brissett in his career.
Did they find the quarterback of the future?
They might very well have.
Okay.
I think.
But you're not immediately negative about it. Like some guys are ringing up like, no, he sucks. Bust.
No, I mean, look, he was a highly touted prospect in college, and a lot of people talked about him being a first-round draft pick.
He sure dropped that turd on that drive to win the national championship, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It's hard to get that out of my
He
mind.
did. I was thinking about that last night, too.
Oh, were you?
I mean, how do you not?
You have to.
Right.
That follows him everywhere. You just got to.
Yeah.
Credit Indiana, but still. Remember that? Like, oh boy,
yeah.
Carson Beck goes to Miami, and now he's got the ball with a chance to win a championship. And no, he will not. He can still be a good pro quarterback. He's just really polarizing because the people that I listen to about Carson Beck, there's nothing in between. Like, you know what? He's gonna be. He could be a star in this league, or he is going to be a terrible quarterback and a bust. So whatever. He looked good last night.
I think it looks like a good third-round draft pick.
Because he was supposed to go higher than that.
Yeah.
He dropped a little bit.
Yep.
Maybe teams were looking at that last draft like, hey,
Nah.
buddy.
When the lights are the brightest.
Anything else you liked from last night?
I just like that it was a competitive game. I mean, it was entertaining.
That was a super entertaining game.
Yeah. So, hey, football's here, baby.
Right. That's the important thing.
I mean, I hung on the whole time because I did. I had that Panthers -1.5. That 2-second finish.
That was a big finish for you.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I didn't have a whole lot on it.
That's a big run, though. I mean, that's just the way that
Oh, yeah.
the way it ended. I was also watching the Royals game. Have you seen that? Have you seen that movie before?
Mm-hmm. A couple times this year. Once or twice.
I'm okay.
Or 20. 21 now.
I don't know why this is my takeaway, but it's going to be my takeaway. All right. You heard the Twins broadcast crew there mention how big of a win that was for the Twins' playoff chances, right?
I did.
I went out to the game 2 nights ago, watched last night, watched the night before. No disrespect to the Twins. It pisses me off so much that they can sit there and say that that win was important for their playoff hopes and that they're still in it and the Royals aren't. Because that team, and maybe I'm just stupid, that team is not better than the Royals. And it's just so frustrating. I mean, like right now, they probably are. With what's happened with this bullpen been ravaged, I don't even know who some of these people are that are pitching. I do my best. You know what? I lock in and cover Chiefs. I've been studying up on Mizzou football. You know that I'm in on the trade deadline. I do my very best to have a full grasp of the sports that I talk most about. And I am a baseball geek, and I've been knee-deep in AL and NL, roto, trade deadline, bidding. I know more about these things than I should because it's unhealthy. I should put better things in my mind. Poetry, music, critical thought.
Nope.
But no, I'm sitting there. How much do you think I should bid for Casey Mize?
Set up, guys.
I think Casey Mize could really, really do well in San Diego.
He could.
He was one of the best starters in the AL. Go to San Diego, man, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to max out my bid.
Oh, boy.
Here's Casey Mize. Hi, debut, San Diego. Let me give up 8 runs. Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's awesome. That's fun. Oh, Freddie Peralta. Yay. He's getting traded. He's going from a clown show with the Mets. He's going to Tampa. The Midas touch. Tampa just lays hands on a pitcher, and he becomes a stud, or he reverts back to the great pitcher that he used to be. Freddie Peralta, one of the best starters in the NL the last 3 years. This is wow. Well, let me max out my bid on Freddie Peralta. Get him in my lineup as soon as I can. I'm trying to win the championship. Oh, Freddie Peralta, debut for the Rays. Let me give up 8 runs. The Rays never have bad starts. Nobody ever gets rocked. I can't take Noah Cameron's 5+ ERA anymore. Let me waive him. Stop the bleeding. Noah Cameron goes on historic 3-game run of excellence. When you talk starting pitching, talk Noah Cameron. The last pitcher to do this or that, Max Scherzer. Justin Verlander.
Randy Johnson.
Randy Johnson. Cy Young. Maybe I don't know anything. Maybe I should quit and shut my fat mouth. But anyway, I sit there and watch this, and who's pitching for the Royals now? Who's in this bullpen? So yes, maybe the Twins at this very moment, because of the revolving door in the bullpen. What if I had told you, Jake, at the beginning of the season, in the first week of August, you could watch a Royals game where they're winning and the bullpen, that is the relievers that are sent out there to try to bring home Waka's game, to try to get Waka a win, Quas, Lang, Bummer, Pearson, McGee. What? How many of those people do you know? Then don't you lie to me. Quas, Lang, Bummer, Pearson, McGee. You know what? Yes, that bullpen, it's a real bummer. That's a perfect guy for the Royals bullpen. Bummer. But I'm like, who's McGee? Here comes McGee, who earlier tonight was a fan sitting in section 134. And now he's been given a chance to pitch against the Minnesota Twins. Baseball's the best. Well, Jake, this Royals bullpen sure is a bummer. Yet I watch that game and think, look at this lineup. I think Minnesota's lineup sucks. I'm sorry. It infuriates me that the Royals season became this. You know? Bobby Witt Jr. going 3 for 4. He's hot. I mean, Jensen, Bobby, Kaggs, Salvi. If they could get Garcia back, I'm ranting and raving now. It's not like the Twins are world beaters. They're 57 and 59. But just, the Royals, so frustrating. They were unable to take advantage of a very mid-American League, and especially a very mid-American League Central. But then this was the recipe, right? Hey, Royals got a pretty good start from Waka. Hey, the Royals have a lead. Hey, here comes the late innings. Hey, the bullpen blew it. Oh, okay. How many times now? I don't even want to know. Rhetorical question. I don't want to know.
I know.
I don't want to know. Because then I'm sitting there watching that. I'm thinking, hey, they're going to sweep the Twins. This is pretty good.
It's a major league high.
And then here comes these relievers that I don't know. Like, oh, boy. Oh, here comes the roller coaster. Well, let me see. Let me put all my hope in Bummer and McGee. That sounds like a stupid TV show that was on MTV in the 90s. Here comes Bummer and McGee. With special guest Tom Green. He'd have been in it. I don't even know what this opening segment was. Steven melts down about the Royals for no reason. Steven and Jake break down an exhibition game between the Cardinals and the Panthers. And they let you know how it affects your fantasy football draft.
21's the number, Steven.
Stupid.
21 times the Royals have had a lead in the 8th and blown it. 21 times in the 8th.
Yeah.
In the 8th.
Yep.
21.
It's fun. It's exciting. Don't ever feel like you can turn the TV off. I can tell you that. No, you should. We'll take a break. Royals lose 4-3. Losing pitcher, bummer. Gives up 3 runs in the 3rd. There you go. Bye-bye. Back into this on WHP. Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Stephen St. John, Jake Gutierrez on this Friday, August 7th, 2026. We're now joined by Stan Weber in studio. Stan, good morning. How are you?
I am doing great, Stephen.
What can you tell me about quarterback sensation Haynes King?
I love the way that guy plays.
That's right.
His ability to make winning plays at Georgia Tech was incredible.
Tough as nails.
But I did not know. I don't know if he can keep it up, but if he can throw the way he threw last night, whoa.
Pretty good backup quarterback.
He just made me think about Garrett Nussmeier of the Kansas City Chiefs, who is a quarterback who did good things at LSU and could be a legitimate quarterback, even though he'd be, logged in as the third guy now. You think about the future, and I go, well, he's got a big bar to overcome because Haynes King looked like the real deal. I grew up a giant, Len Dawson and Roger Staubach fan, watching them back in the day, and they didn't throw the ball perfectly every down, but they made winning plays, ran when they had to, especially you think about Staubach, would just tear your heart out with a run at the appropriate time. And then people realized, no, this guy's got a great arm, great passer, John Elway type strength, and was a clutch player. And I was sitting there last night going, no, do not say this. Do not say that Haynes King reminds me of Roger Staubach.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he threw the ball, if you go back and evaluate his throws last night, over defenders, 3rd and 15 throws. I mean, people do not get first downs on 3rd and 15. Chiefs fans may not know that because they've been watching Patrick Mahomes. So when he throws a 3rd and 11, 3rd and 15 for a first down, we don't really blink an eye around here, right? You go, yeah, no, he did it. It's fine. Overcome the penalty. But the rest of the NFL just doesn't happen. And last night, his throws were on target. Did you see his rolling out to the left, like the touchdown throw that he threw? My son Landry was there, who was a receiver, not that long ago at K-State. And I said, you know how hard that is to throw that quick throw in the flat when you're rolling out near the goal line, running to the left, and he hit the upfield number perfectly, so the running back caught it and just walked into the end zone. I mean, he played unbelievably well. And Carson Beck played well also. It was the best Hall of Fame game I've seen in 15 or 20 years. And the quarterback play and the functionality of the teams usually is so sloppy to start preseason, it is really hard to watch. You got to want to say I'm watching football to watch it. It wasn't that way last night. That was legitimate football with backup quarterbacks. And Chris Collinsworth, obviously we had the best TV crew working from NBC with Chris Collinsworth and Mike Tirico. It sounded like a big game, right? I mean, that helped. And they did a great job all game long with the production, as they always do, honoring the Hall of Fame players. There's a lot of reasons why you could say it was good television production. But the backup quarterbacks were playing, not the starters. And Chris Collinsworth, within the first quarter, was saying, we might have a quarterback controversy in Arizona. That Beck may be good enough that he may be better than Brissett. And I kind of thought, we may have that at Carolina as well. Now, Haynes has got to do a lot more weeks, but he did everything right, including that winning drive using his legs. He didn't use his legs all game long and like a warrior and then know he's going to get hurt getting hit. He slid earlier in the game. Did you watch the whole game?
Mm-hmm.
He slid.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's a passing quarterback, even though he's not. He's more of a dangerous runner and could hurt you
He looked like a veteran quarterback out there.
Yeah. And I wasn't surprised when he ran that he was effective.
Yeah.
But when he threw the ball, I was surprised. I was surprised how well he played. And Carson Beck, I was surprised how well he played. Very surprised. Those two guys looked legitimate. The game was fun to watch. I couldn't believe it. Usually, by the end of the first quarter, I'm going, why am I watching this?
Do you think Beck will be good enough to be a starting quarterback?
For a bad team? Possibly. I don't trust him. But he maybe a reset button. There was a time where he was driving down the field, Stephen. If you can kind of picture the huddle, they're not in perfect form like they used to be in the old days. It was like a military huddle. Everyone had their feet in the exact spot, and they practiced the huddle. Nowadays, you huddle up, and you kind of whatever. So they're driving down the field. Things are rolling. Long drives, very impressive, leading the team. And he calls the play and says, ready, break. Now, that isn't a big deal in modern football because a lot of times you're playing out of shotgun, no huddle in college and in high school. So breaking the huddle used to be the biggest thing. Like a leader, it's ready, break. And I mean, that was so important for the coaches. We couldn't even run the first play of fall camp if we couldn't do that very well. And you could tell a good quarterback could get everyone and go, ready, break, all together. Well, that's not modern football. But his body language in the huddle, he called a play. They're respecting him. Like he is driving them down the field, making all the plays. And then they say ready, break, and he just kind of lacklusterly walks to the line, doesn't clap with them. Now, that is not something that I should notice, but that's my Carson Beck right there. He's just aloof in my mind. I don't see him grabbing the team and making everybody better like a Patrick Mahomes does. He can play. Who else does that? Aaron Rodgers, right?
Oh.
Aaron Rodgers, his whole career, has quarterbacked, but I don't know if he's connected with the other 10 the way that other quarterbacks do. He's kind of like, I'm so good, I can be pissed at you if you don't catch the ball. You don't want. It's everyone else's fault.
Been somewhat
his
aloof.
body language.
Aloof's a good word.
Okay? So I just think Beck is a little bit that way. He made it to the national championship game with Miami. He was really on a giant, great team at Georgia. I didn't give him a ton of credit, but he played at Georgia and won. He played at Miami and totally overachieved last year.
They had a
right?
chance to win it, but
and we thought they were going to. I thought they were going to lose to A&M in game 1. And a lot of people said, "What? They shouldn't have been in the 12-team tournament. They were the last selection in." So I probably always underrate him. I don't trust him. I don't believe in him. His look, his body language, his throws. And he had made it all the way to the national championship game with me saying, I don't believe in this guy. So we got to be a little careful. The way he played last night was really good. He looked like an NFL quarterback. And he's pretty old and mature. And maybe his aloofness allows him to not be nervous like a rookie. Does that make sense? It's almost helpful early, but I think it caps your upside. If you're not engaged, look at Fernando Mendoza. He's overly engaged.
right.
Okay? So he's probably going to be really nervous when he first starts out. Just like Peyton Manning wasn't great in his rookie year, but Peyton grew to be good. And does that make sense? I think Beck will cap out because he just doesn't have a concentration level that I like in quarterbacks.
But he's been in front of so many big crowds and big games, big venues, the best of the best. I don't know.
Yeah. So could he be better than Brissett this year? Yes. But do I think he's going to lead a team to the playoffs? No.
No.
Because you look at Chicago. Look at Williams. Did I believe in him? I know, painting his fingernails and, maxing out his junior year and not being as good as senior year. I don't know if I would trust him, but his talent level is so much better.
And in the fourth quarter, he's a stud.
Yeah.
When the game's on the line.
Yeah. So does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
both those guys are totally different, but each of them I limit like how good they can be. And I'm starting to take the limitations off of Williams because he's taking to good coaching. Will Beck take to good coaching? That breaking of the huddle last night, to me, was an example where if he had a great coach, he'd be like, yeah, okay, coach, got it. Instead of truly engaging in everything that coach had to give. Does Patrick Mahomes, who has unbelievable ability, doesn't he engage in every ounce that Andy Reid has to give him to make him better?
Sure.
And he's looking for more. I don't think Carson Beck can do that.
But so, going back to what we were talking about with Haynes King.
Winner.
And I was having fun talking about Haynes King because, most people, not football sickos like us, that was their introduction to Haynes King last night. Like, who the hell's Haynes King?
Exactly.
And then you watch this, and to the untrained eye, most people are probably thinking, wait a minute. He threw for almost 3,000 yards and ran for almost 1,000 yards, and he looks like this? How did no one even spend a 7th-round draft pick on him? Right? That's a natural thing to ask after last night.
That's a great question.
But guess what? Guess what we're starting to learn here? Sometimes these NFL teams don't know what they're doing because we ask that as I'm watching an undrafted free agent up in St. Joe win the right tackle position to protect Patrick Mahomes coming off a torn ACL.
From a national championship undefeated.
How did he not get drafted?
Makes no sense to me.
I even saw Trey Green the other night. I said, tell me something. How did this guy not get? He goes, I don't know. He goes, Trent's going to have some games coming up for the Chiefs. He goes, I need to do some more investigation with my people in Indiana. I don't know. And it's crazy because I promise you, Stan, I'm not an offensive line coach, but he looks the part when you go up there. You look at him, and if somebody if you just plopped into St. Joe and didn't know anything about the draft, and someone said, yeah, the Chiefs took him in the second round, he could win right tackle. Like, oh yeah, look, 6'6", 319. Look at the way he moves. Oh, he started for the defending national champs. Yeah, makes sense. But then it's no. He had to try out. He didn't get an offer.
Right. He wasn't a free agent signing.
He came in.
There's a tryout camp.
How? In this day and age of everyone watching everything, especially for the highest profile team there was that went undefeated and won the national championship, how does every team in the NFL look at him like, nah, we're good? And now he legitimately can end up being the right tackle.
Right.
So,
it's an inexact science.
Right. So just because my point is just because like a guy like Haynes King wasn't drafted doesn't mean he can't be an NFL quarterback because he sure looked like one last night.
Yeah, but the other thing that you're doing right now, if we were in an NFL draft room or working with a team and we're talking through this, the thing that you have done so well here with these two guys, and even Beck, that's 3, when we did go back into their history, they won games.
High level.
So if these guys had athletic ability like they do, and then you look back and they were part of losing propositions, I would say maybe we just see a little flash in the pan, preseason hype, and let's just move on. But when you look back, you have substance on things that matter. He was the starting offensive lineman for Indiana.
Yeah.
Do you know how well that we believe they're coached? Do you think the stress that they have, do you think that they have an intricate offensive system? Do you think they audibilize and expect things to be done perfectly, or your butt's on the bench?
And they threw a lot.
Yes. And they ran when they needed to win a championship against Ohio State. Right? So why wouldn't you believe in him if you heard his past resume? Like you said, he's a second-round pick. Someone coming up to camp and go, I agree with you. And where did he play last year? And you say, oh, he was great. Look at Georgia Tech. He put that team on his back.
He was the ACC Player of the Year.
Yeah. He should have won against Georgia.
He was first team ACC Player of the Year, and won the Earl Campbell Award for a Division I player that shows tremendous characteristics off the field. So it's like, he's a great kid too. Okay, gotcha.
And he won at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
And when was the 8 overtime game? Was that 2 seasons ago or last year? Georgia Tech was better all day. Georgia barely got to overtime.
That game was incredible.
Came back. It was Haynes against Haynes King against Georgia.
Yeah.
Against Georgia.
It's 2024.
That's what I thought. Not last year. So, wait a second. What do we think about Georgia around the country right now? Do we put Alabama at the top, or do we say, no, Nick Saban's not there anymore? Georgia's the team that everyone's talking about is, well, you got to say Ohio State, too. Georgia and Ohio State are the reliable teams around the country that you expect to be dominant last year, this year, etc.
They're the favorite in the SEC.
Terrible drivers.
And they've won.
All of them. Don't drive with anyone
Wow.
that plays football at Georgia. I mean,
Did Rasheed Rice play there?
No, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Isn't that a fair
Would you?
statement?
No, I wouldn't.
I mean,
like your Uber driver
those guys-
comes saying, hey, I played football in Georgia. I said, cancel drive, buddy.
I'm
Sorry.
good.
Exactly.
Just being honest.
I mean, those dudes have some powerful engines. How does it happen over and over and over again? Is it just a culture like, hey, there's some nice roads outside here that we can go really fast?
Apparently nobody cares. You do whatever you
is
want.
there a car dealership that says, I'll give you a booster? Your car's...
Maybe.
I mean, it is dangerous what they've been doing on the
if you were
roads.
a smart advertiser, you'd have anything to do with Tesla.
And see,
Tesla
how
are
about that?
self-driving cars. We're going to buy
The
all
eight-
the Georgia kids Teslas.
Exactly.
when you realize that last night was the rematch of the 8 overtime game between King and Carson Beck.
Yeah, that's what I was
Beck
referring
had
to.
5 touchdown passes and no interceptions in that game.
Yes.
Threw for 297. You know what King had? He threw for 303, and threw for 2 touchdowns and had 24 carries for 110 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground.
And he had to go against Georgia's defense.
Yeah.
Take those stats and put ×2 in there. Does your AI do that real quick? ×2 is the adjusted yardage he should have had. I watched that game. It was incredible. Georgia got so lucky to get out of there. So I really
Georgia
believe
was
this kid.
down 17 at half that game. I remember that.
Yeah. They got lucky to win that game. And that's an amazing statement. I like winners. But you know what? Feisty guys that are winners. How about Missouri's quarterback a couple years ago? Started a game for the Jets.
Brady Cook.
How about Brady Cook played in the NFL and started a game?
Still there.
Skylar Thompson started a game, a playoff game in the NFL. These guys, it's unbelievable how good a quarterbacking we're seeing around here. But those guys are winners, okay? I love it, but that doesn't mean I think he's going to be an NFL starting quarterback that could hurt somebody. Haynes King, I put him in the same category. I was not sitting here on draft day going, boy, you got to pick that guy up because he's going to be a starter for you someday, right? But the way he threw the ball last night erased my thoughts because he is all those honors that you talked about, the winning he's done, how hard he's going to try, the physicality he plays with, the running instincts he had were incredible last night to go win the game, including the touchdown run.
But like bringing it back to the Chiefs, you said, you're not going to draft the guy to be the starter. I like the idea of drafting your backup in the 6th or 7th round,
Exactly.
like the Chiefs did with Nussmeier. If you got a developmental quarterback that you like, skill set like that, give me him as your backup, and then he can come into a game and they're not ready for a running quarterback, and you don't think he can wreak havoc on a defense one Sunday afternoon in the 3rd and 4th quarter? Hell yes, I love him as a backup quarterback.
I couldn't help but move to the Chiefs last night because they have a new young quarterback who played at a big-time level and was thought of going into last season as a really high-level NFL prospect, possibly even a first-round pick, playing, you talk about pressure, play football at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really said, it's almost like tennis. When the server is serving at Wimbledon, he should win the game, okay? Doesn't mean he's better than his opponent, but the server should win. When I finished the game last night, I go, Nussmeier, I'm not writing you off. I'm not bad-mouthing you, but you are down 1-love, and now you get a serve. Because would the Chiefs be better off with Haynes King? I mean, I love that kid. I love everything he did in college. I love having that kind of player on my team, but it doesn't mean it moves the needle in the NFL. Let's be realistic. It's unbelievably hard to be good in the NFL. I mean, upper level, right? The Josh Allens and the Patrick Mahomes and those guys. So, but the way he threw the ball last night started making me think, wait, if he could turn into a refined passer and bring all those other qualities, it's a little early. He wasn't even drafted. But, hey, the game was awesome.
It's the only game we have to go on. Jake, you want a break? No? You just want to say hi? All right. I've got a topic real quick I wanted to touch on before, because we're going to get heavy into football, back into football in the 7 o'clock hour. So in the previous segment, we were talking about the Royals. Shockingly, their bullpen blows the game. But one of the things that stood out to me was who they were putting out there. I know there were many people mad, including me at the time, asking, where is your best reliever, Daniel Lynch? Why are you not using him? What is happening right now, right? Because you would think you're clinging to this league. Where's Daniel Lynch? Well, the question was answered after the game, and I'm very intrigued by this. Daniel Lynch is going to start tonight. And now the Royals, first of all, they have their rotation that's been decimated by injury, but they are going to take probably the worst bullpen in baseball and make it even worse because they feel like Daniel Lynch maybe still has a shot of being a quality starter.
So this isn't one of those starter.
No, they're going to give him,
inning and you're done.
They're going to give him some starts. They're going to
a real start.
Yes. Well, I don't he'll have to stretch out.
Yeah, but he might pitch 5 innings.
He's not an opener.
That's what the word
Right.
is. Opener.
Yeah, they're gonna actually start him.
So this is what Annie wrote last night, Annie Rogers, about the situation, and I do think it's I don't know how to feel about it. I'm intrigued by it, but I don't know I don't know what to think. In the long term, Lynch's return to the rotation is an intriguing experiment and one the Royals want to explore as they begin to figure out the foundations of their 27 roster. He's the former 34 overall pick, came up and debuted as a starter. Of his 170 career games, 56 have been starts. He struggled in the rotation from 21 to 23, posting a 5.18 ERA and 51 starts. Then he went to the bullpen. It clicked this year thanks to more velocity and a few more strikeouts. And so now they want to see if he could take that mentality and execution to the rotation. And we've seen guys like, I guess it's a bad example because he's hurt now, but how much did it help Bubic to go and have that year in the bullpen as a starter? And we've seen guys do very well in the bullpen after they kind of flailed as a starter, and they go back to the rotation and they figured it out as a reliever. So,
and I don't think nowadays you're not really a starter like the old days.
Right. You don't have
a
to
starter
go,
in the old days meant could you roll 8 innings out? Give us 7 for sure. Can you handle the ups and downs? Can you make adjustments to the batters when you see them a third time? Oh, by the way, footnote, in honor of Mike Boddicker, I didn't know the word opener coming to my mind.
Right.
Okay.
He'd appreciate that.
He'd appreciate I shouldn't even know what an opener is. But this is a good experiment because, Stephen, I know you're a guy before me. I mean, the difference between you and I is like you love trade deadlines. You like moves. You like building to the future. You study it a lot more than I do. You know who minor leaguers are. You want to find out things in baseball for the future. You're always building for the future. I'm more of a let's win now guy. Like I like having a team and trying to win every game you can this year. So I get stuck in that mode. Here's one of the things that seems to make a lot of sense to me, especially the way I think you might take it. Why not find out if he's a starter? Because if he's now got confidence to say, I can do this work in the major leagues, why can't he take it to the mound and be a starter? And really all he's got to do is give you 5 good innings or 6, and he's made it. So it's not as big a leap. He may be able to do it, and is he really that dominant in the bullpen? He'd be so much more valuable. Let's find out. I mean, here you are. I loved your statement when I heard you when I was driving in. Sickening but true.
Jake's in there. What are you laughing at in there?
Boddicker just called me.
Wow.
Did I do okay for Boddicker?
Yeah, he said an opener is for a beer bottle.
Wow.
That's good. It didn't
use
pop
one
in
of
my
those,
mind.
right.
I said like a starter for
A little
one
bit
inning.
better language though.
Yeah. Thanks for giving
Put
me
him
that word
on.
opener.
Put him on. You need to call in. Can't waste all of his good humor on you. Share it with Kansas City. Mike.
Yeah.
Are you a fan? Because honestly, there were people talking about whether Lynch should be a candidate to close next year because they don't have a closer, or but no one really. They've talked about this, I guess. Are you a fan of putting him back in the rotation?
No, not really.
Why?
No, I like him where he's at, but then again, we have to have some starters, but I mean, like you said earlier, we took the worst bullpen in baseball and took our best pitcher out of it. We're in trouble. Yeah, not good.
But I mean,
But to get experiment for next year, Mike.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we do experiments with grandkids. They're fun and everything, but
You sound like me, Mike. You just want to win now. I was just telling him it was sickening that the Royals.
I want to see good baseball, Stan.
Me too.
And like I said, an opener's for a beer bottle.
There it is.
That's it. That's the only thing it's good for.
I mean, he's got a 1.96 ERA, a .93 WHIP. He's been terrific. But the problem is, Mike. So you got Waka, you've got Cameron, you got Lugo. Now Kolick and Avila have Tommy John surgery. You literally, you're trying to figure out who the hell is going to start.
It also makes you wonder.
I wait for you and Jake to get Tommy John surgery.
Well,
Everybody else
thank you.
does.
No, please don't.
It makes you wonder if that's another reason why they didn't trade him at the trade deadline.
Yes.
That could be.
That's exactly right.
People would have wanted Lynch.
Oh, absolutely. He would have probably been one of the most sought after bullpen lefties.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
one of the best lefties available in the pen. Yeah.
I'm like Mike. I want to see good baseball, and I want to win. And I know you guys are very good at wanting to build for the future. But your statement that the Royals are as good as the Twins. If we started the season right now, and said, let's go, why wouldn't we think the Royals would have a better record than the Twins? The Royals are
because of their bullpen.
Yeah, the bullpen.
The bullpen is god awful.
But did we know that going into the season?
No, because here's the deal.
I mean, it's
their closer,
historically
who
bad.
led the league in saves, pitched one game. Lucas Erceg
Failed.
absolutely fell apart. They traded for a veteran lefty who has a back of a baseball card filled with seasons of being an effective reliever, and his ERA is 7. And so all three of those things happened, and then it just went from there.
But I do want to point out, because it's very true the bullpen stinks, but my big thing all year has been base running. And so Salvi gets a walk. And my son is watching the game with me. And I said, he's going to get picked off.
Yeah.
The pinch runner is going to get picked off. I said that before he even touched first base to come into the game. How can you do that? That is impossible.
The sad part, Stan, it's been better. The second half here at the beginning of the year, it was just awful.
And they could have swept last night if not for the stupid bullpen of people I don't know. By the way, Lynch has not given up. Lynch has not given up a run since June 27th.
Yeah, he was probably high on the trade market. They had a plan for him, probably.
If Mike Boddicker...
I hope he does well as a starter.
Me too.
We need a good left-handed starter.
Well, if Mike Boddicker were playing for the Royals, he would have went out last night and won that game and showed up today and started.
You're the man, Mike Boddicker.
Yeah, guys, take your break. You need to break. Get into football.
Whatever. Thank you.
Listen. All right.
I get why they're doing it, because there's just no other options, and they can't afford to go buy 2 starting pitchers in free agency.
No,
maybe
I'm with you, and usually I don't understand quite how you want to build for the next year and trade and do all that stuff. But this, I think, what do you have to lose? This season is over. Can you find a way that he could be a factor next year as a starter?
And they have spent the last 3 or 4 weeks acquiring power arms that have flaws, that maybe can't throw strikes or whatever else, and they're going to try to turn them into what they've turned Steven Cruz into, effective relievers. They're trying to find guys that throw 100. I see what they're doing, and it's all about next year too. They're trying to rebuild this bullpen on the
Bullpens
run.
really are built year by year. It seems like to me. I'm no baseball expert, but
well, this thing collapsed this year, and that's been bad to watch.
The base runners ran out to the bullpen instead of the bases and infected them.
But
it all fell apart.
That gives us one more good thing to watch down the stretch to see if Daniel Lynch can turn himself back into a good pitcher in the rotation for the Royals. Back into this on WHB.